Some men just want to watch the world burn.
What's up guys, Cajun here, and today we are back with another Critical Ops update video. And this is a big one. 1.49 is the first update of the new year from Critical Force, and it is packed with all kinds of things from a new utility, new meta changes, and even a new agent. I know you guys are probably excited, so let's hop right into it. First off, let's take a look at the new meta changes that Critical Force has brought this time around. For this update, there's going to be 4 guns getting changes: the U ratio, the AR-15, the AUG, and the SG-551. First off, the U ratio is going to get a slight nerf with the bullets per magazine lowered from 10 bullets to 7 bullets. Now you'll have 3 less shots to waste because you can't hit anything. Next up is the AR-15, which in my opinion is getting a considerable buff that'll make it more of an option for players. Along with a minimum damage increase from 33 to 35.1, the AR-15's recoil pattern is also going to be easier to control. I think this update is going to make more people choose it over the M4, especially in force rounds. I know I've been using it personally, and it's been a pretty good option. Lastly, the AUG and SG-551 are getting some pretty big nerfs. Each gun's recoil pattern is now going to be more challenging to control. Damage is the same, but you're going to have to remaster this new recoil. One last change to the meta looks to combat against nade stacking. Critical Ops now has an equipment purchase limit, and what that means is now the number of utility equipment bought is limited to a certain amount per round. The buy menu shows how much you could buy of each utility and will go gray once you have bought all that you can. Currently the limits are 1 frag, 1 smoke, 1 incendiary, and 2 flashes. However, note that this does not mean you can buy 2 flashes at once. You have to drop the first flash you bought before you can buy another. This means that teams are limited to 5 frags, smokes, and incendiaries, and 10 flashes per round. Speaking of incendiaries, they finally got added to the game. Incendiaries are a new type of throwable utility being added to Critical Ops, and do note this is not a Molotov, it is an incendiary grenade. So call it the right thing, even though y'all still call U ratios ops after how many years. The incendiary is going to be the only utility at the moment that activates once it touches the ground. It can bounce off walls, but cannot bounce on the ground. So if you do see one landing near you, you better get away as fast as possible because the fire will spread after the initial activation. However, if you do find yourself in flames, no fear. Smoke grenades do put out the fire. In total, the fire spreads 6 meters in diameter, and the duration of the incendiary is 10 seconds. If you do find yourself unfortunate enough to be in the incendiary's radius, you'll take 8 damage and tick damage every 0.2 seconds. So the max you can stay in the fire is about 2.5 seconds. So keep that in mind for tight diffuse situations. The incendiary also penetrates armor 100% and gives a kill reward of $400. So throw those flames wisely, especially since the flames will also burn your teammates as well. However, if you're hosting a custom room, you can turn the setting off. Now remember, these values are still subject to change based on feedback from the community. So if you'd like to leave feedback, keep an eye on your Critical Ops mail system for Google Forms to voice your feedback. Personally, I'm going to be using the incendiary a good portion of the time to clear out bomb sites from default post-plant areas, or to stop rushes in places like Pool, in SOAR, or Heaven in Raid. If you want to check out some early incendiary lineups, Stump is going to be making an incendiary lineup video you guys should go check out after finishing this one. I'll leave a link in the cards and in the description down below. Next up are some new agent audio changes, as well as new agents coming to join the fight. Regarding audio changes, incendiary radio comms have been added to all agents, and then Rookie and Nomad now have new voice actors, and all agents' voice lines have been edited to be more consistent with each other.
Suck on this! Tossing incendiary! I'm gonna blind him. Smoke grenade coming up. Planting bomb.
bomb has been planted.
Grenade out. Flashbang out. Incendiary out. Tossing smoke. The bomb has been planted on A. The bomb has been planted on B. Defusing the bomb.
The first new agent coming to join the fight is named Hesu. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get any access to her in this build, so I'm going to make a video later on when she comes out on her voice lines and her player model, but we do have a slight teaser picture and a little blurb of her backstory. Hesu's from Daegu, Korea, and she joins the coalition as a bright, energetic, and slightly unpredictable agent. Unlike the usual rigid CRTF agents, Hesu is fiery, quick-witted, and not afraid to challenge authority. Though still gaining experience, her grit and instinct make her a formidable presence on the battlefield. She thrives in chaos, first to charge in, last to back down. Unless she's equipped by Cajun X, probably. Also getting added to the game are Arctic versions of Rookie and Nomad. They've adapted the frozen landscapes in case the conflict goes into unforgiving cold areas. Arctic rookies have been equipped with advanced cold weather gear, and they are trained for high-risk operations in sub-zero temperatures. Resilient and disciplined, they stand ready to secure critical objectives, no matter the conditions. Arctic nomads have had some adaptations of their own. Clad in insulated, scavenged gear, these rogue operators thrive in the ice and snow, using the harsh terrain to outmaneuver and ambush coalition forces. Now, there are some other updates to the game, such as connection indicators making a return, some new minimap and scoreboard changes, as well as new frag grenade visuals. First off, we're going to start with the return of the connection quality indicators. The connection indicators originally debuted back in update 1.2.1. Yes, you heard that right, all the way back in 2019. That was 6 years ago. They've now returned with a fresh, brand new look. If you get a yellow Wi-Fi icon, that'll mean that your latency or your ping is too high. A red icon being shown to you means that you may have a potential to rubber band. Now, if you ever experience connection issues without any icons showing, Critical Force is asking you to record video evidence and send it to them via in-game support. Next up are the new frag grenade visuals. There's now less smoke in the visuals of the frag grenade explosion. Up on the screen is a before and after of what it used to look like and what it now looks like in the 1.49 update. Next are some changes to the HUD. First, there's now a dedicated scoreboard button for players. A lot of players that play Claw on phones had frustrations that they would accidentally touch the scoreboard when reaching for their buttons. And now they won't have to worry, as there is now a fully customizable and placeable button in the HUD. And speaking of placing buttons where you want, you can now collapse the reset to default, save and exit, and cancel tray in the HUD customization screen. There's a little arrow near the top that'll allow you to press it, and it'll move those buttons out of the way so that you can place all of your controls freely without having the fear of pressing reset accidentally. And I know that's happened with me way too many times, to be honest. Now for everyone's favorite part of every update, the map changes. Yippee! Not too many huge changes here, except for Grounded and Legacy, but again, nothing that's huge or game-changing, I think. So all maps have fixed the wallbang icon not showing for certain objects using the glass material. In Bureau, there were instances where objects would disappear when they shouldn't, and that's been fixed. In Canals, there's been an added reverb ambiance when outside. In Cargo, some player stuck spots have been fixed. In Costello, some bomb stuck spots have been fixed. In Gallery, the inaccessible area behind Coalition spawn has been updated. Some reflections have been updated, and instances where objects would disappear when they shouldn't have been fixed. In Grounded, Nigel replaced the lower part of glass with a solid wall in entrances near Coalition spawn / bomb site B. He also moved the signs on the glass doors to a lower position. Instances where objects would disappear when they shouldn't have been fixed, and bomb stuck spots have been fixed. On Heat, player stuck spots have been fixed, and spots where dropped items would be unreachable have been fixed. On Impasse, there is now an added reverb ambiance when outside, and an issue where character will remain crouched under a certain ledge has been fixed. On Legacy, the gaps between the stair railings have now been closed. Some assets in Courtyard have been changed to allow for smoother movement along the rooftops. The entrances to Bomb Site A are now taller, and the windows have been removed from those entrances. Nigel has fixed some assets being too weak for bullet penetration, meaning more damage could be done unintentionally by wall banging those assets. Some assets have been fixed that were misplaced. Some visible gaps to the void in exterior areas have been fixed. The top walls from the room between bar and bomb site B or glass have been removed, allowing for utilities to be thrown into the adjacent spaces. And then Nigel has switched the opening of the door in reception. In Park, there were some death spots at the edges of the map that have been fixed. In Plaza, both bomb-stuck spots and player-stuck spots have been fixed. There was a gap outside of the playable area that has been fixed, and a traffic sign that clearly made no sense has been removed. For Purify, some reflections were updated in some areas, and instances where objects would disappear when they shouldn't have been fixed. In Raid, bomb-stuck spots were fixed. Player-stuck spots in Coalition Spawn were fixed by removing some assets. Instances where objects would disappear when they shouldn't have also been fixed. In Village, Nigel added map variations, which now allows Village to be playable in Wingman. And then lastly, in SOAR, bomb-stuck spots were fixed. And then last but not least, some minor bug fixes that got resolved. Input device indication is now hidden when playing on touchscreen devices, and the touch controls HUD indicator is now hidden by default. Whew, we are finally done. Critical Force has honestly cooked up a jam-packed update for the first release of the year. Let me know what your favorite feature in this update is in the comments down below. Also, again, if you want to learn some early lineups for Incendiaries, don't forget to go check out Stump's video in the description or in the card in the upper right-hand corner. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.